So guys, today we're really excited. We have someone coming from us from almost 1,000 miles away. He hails from Washington, D.C. He's a huge ProMazo supporter, but also an expert in his own field. We'd like to welcome in today Dan McCormick, or as we know him around ProMazo, Intern Dan.
Well, thank you, Brett, for that kind, although somewhat facetious, I could never say that word, introduction.
You want to try it again?
Yeah.
No, I meant the word facetious.
Facetious. I have other skills that I'm bringing to ProMazo other than the pronunciation of that particular word.
And what skills are those?
Those skills, I think I bring a optimistic, although realistic view to what we're trying to do here.
So you're a pessimist?
I wouldn't go that far. I think I take a very measured approach to everything that we're trying to do, and it's easy to get caught up in all the exciting stuff that we're doing. We're talking to a lot of great people, but at the end of the day, we are a business. We are building out what should be a viable model. So it's good to take that excitement, but also take everything in stride, learn from everything we do. So yeah, it's been a great experience so far.
And then maybe you can kind of describe a day in the life of Intern Dan. What have you kind of been working on so far this summer?
So pretty early mornings. We live up in Wicker Park in Chicago, which is up north. Our office is at the CIE, which is the background here. It's about an hour commute, so I'll throw in a podcast, throw in some music on the way down on that hour commute, get to this beautiful space.
Not getting any work done on the commute?
So I'm learning. The podcasts are often about startups, businesses that have succeeded in the past, learning from their stories, learning from entrepreneurs, and then hopefully taking the lessons that I learned in those podcasts and those essays that I read and applying them to the day-to-day business activities here.
So now you are leading the Georgetown chapter this year.
Right.
So do you want to kind of describe where Georgetown has started and now where we hope to bring it for the next year or so?
Yeah, so Georgetown's been in different iterations up and running for about 2 years now. Brought to campus by an awesome girl by the name of Erin Ferrari. She's also a senior, and we've had a great leadership team comprised of about 6 to 7 people throughout. Super smart people, super dedicated people that really believe in the mission of what we're trying to do, and most importantly have been able to execute on that. So in the past 2 years, we've grown our presence on campus. People know about the idea, see the value in it, and this past semester we had about 15 people working for us, some for nonprofits, some for paid positions, and it really encompassed kind of what we're trying to do at ProMazo. So some of it was truly mission driven, some of it was students wanting to develop their business skills, so there was really something for everyone on campus. Optimally, we want to get as many people involved as possible. That wasn't possible this last semester. So that's really been driving me this summer is how do I provide as much opportunity for people that do want to get involved this upcoming year? How do I allow that to happen? So that's kind of been my goal on the day-to-day here. And
then ProMazo is really all about kind of learning and kind of bringing the next generation up. So what have you really kind of learned so far through ProMazo, and where you think you're going to be able to teach people kind of in the next coming year as well?
So I've learned so far that college is an awesome time, and you should definitely not do anything to throw those 4 years away, and you should really be present throughout them. However, there's many ways to be present. It's having fun with your friends, or there's lazy kind of days on Sundays where you're just hanging out, watching TV, eating pizza. But there are other days where the way that presence manifests itself is through being super active. So it's crushing your classes, trying to get a startup on campus going, and that really enhances the entire college experience. ProMazo has made mine super special, at least in the past 2 years. So I guess on a more tangible note, the skills I've learned are, one, how to build networks, whether it's with students, with alumni, with people in the professional world, how to manage teams, how to work with others productively, and I try to be happy, but
But realistic?
But realistic, as always. So working in teams, and then I try to cast as wide a net as possible, and that really has proven to be successful with us so far. Hopefully down the line, as we develop these kind of preferred partners, people that truly see the value in ProMazo and want to work with us, that net will be more focused. But it is having the ability to cast that net, know how to do so, and I've learned a lot of it from you, has really brought a lot of opportunity to ProMazo and has really developed my professional network as well.
That's good. And I think one of the coolest things actually about ProMazo is the fact that you really get a chance to kind of dig in to the whole organization.
Right.
But one of the top pieces, I think, is actually getting to talk to some of these executives that we've been able to talk to. So maybe you can talk about either the one you're most excited to talk to so far, or upcoming, and I know we've got some big ones this week, or then also maybe the scariest one where you're like, oh God, I have no idea how we're going to do this one, or just kind of came up out of the blue.
Well, to answer your first question, it wasn't a question, but it was a comment. You get to really do a lot of different things here. So that's one of the cool things about working at ProMazo, and I think this is kind of true for early stage startups in general, is that as an intern, I have so much agency to really do whatever I think will be productive for the company, whether that's building my networks, whether that's sending emails, whether that's getting involved in more strategic decisions with people like yourself and Mike and other advisors to the board. And really, I would not get that opportunity anywhere else. So if I was doing kind of more of a traditional internship this summer, and I had the conversation that I had with you, with my supposed boss at ex-bank, ex-consulting firm, I'd probably be fired because they value my opinion, but not as much as it's more of a be seen and not heard kind of structure and process, the traditional internship process, and that's totally not the case here, and that's kind of let me flat my I guess strategic and creative wings. So that's been huge for me. And then two, I guess the coolest person I've talked to this summer, besides yourself. So this upcoming week we have a meeting with a guy at Founders Fund, which is Peter Thiel's fund. So I'm excited to get to meet.
And then do you want to tell them what Peter Thiel's fund's kind of invested in the past before?
So Peter Thiel's fund, Founders Fund in general, he has a couple, but is his main one. So he's an early investor in Facebook. I believe he was pretty early in Uber, and a couple of other apps that are on your phone and services that make your life easier every day. So really excited to get the opportunity to speak with him, vet our idea, and see if there's really an area that we could. If there's I don't want to be too speculative, so I'm just excited to talk to him.
And then now from the alumni perspective, where have you seen the ability for you yourself as a Georgetown student to really connect into those different types of people?
It's been great. I want to be measured with this because it's great meeting alumni, but there's many ways on campus that you can do that. But I have not come across a way that is as genuine and as valuable for both sides of the connection. The ability as a current student to be able to reach out to an alumni and say, hey, I'd love your advice on this model that I'm working on, and by the way, I think it can add value to what you're doing in your life. There's really no better way to approach someone and ask for advice if at the same time you're able to provide value for them. So it's made that entire process really easy, has become an enjoyment for me because I know I'm adding value to people, and at the same time learning a lot.
All right, well thanks Intern Dan. It's always a pleasure.
Thanks boss Brett.
No problem. Wait, hold on. Just don't, you don't have to start. Wait, I'll ask you a question. He's an artist.
All right,
an artiste.
I'm gonna delete this. Hold up.
Alright, go ahead.
Yeah, you're fine. Cool.